Hi, I think I'm live. I'm trying to get better at this. I'm just doing a very short live session. I'm going to try to keep it short because otherwise I'll be live for like 4 hours. So I have a hard stop at, I don't know, in 30 minutes. I'm just setting a timer. It's a real analog timer because, oops, I have to start over. You can only go up on this timer. Okay, that's good. Wow, very short live session. And so I wanted to talk about Saturn Neptune stuff. And oh, here's my chat. Look, I'm live from the hip. Hello, thank you. So from the hip, you're early, so I'm speaking to you, but to anyone else who contributes to the chat, I might not answer anybody, even though that's my favorite part of going live. But I'm gonna try to just make a video. I have some stuff I want to talk about, and I'm doing it live because if I don't, then I will spend like 18 hours preparing, and I don't know if the video will be any better. So I'm just going to speak to things that I prepared. And mostly what I want to talk about, and I'm going to look at my notes, and I'm going to put my feet on this coffee table. As you can see, I'm getting closer to my harem style setup instead of uncomfortable couch sitting. And this is not my home. This is my medieval tapestry, but this is more comfortable than where I was. Who else is here? Saxon Creative. Yes, I'm live. Thank you. Thank you for confirming. For validating. Yes, from the hip. Yes, I love it. 1 million viewers. Ashley Valentine, hello. Okay, so this is a very quick, short live session, and because I'm trying to go live more. I also was maybe going to Peach Doors this year. Hello. I'm also maybe going to, I wanted to try to go live like on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube at the same time, but I have to figure that out later. So here we go. One thing, and I'm just gonna kind of read my notes. I'm also like, I think I said this last time, that I'm like Ron Burgundy, and I have to make kind of a script for myself if I'm going to read my notes, because I'll read everything on the teleprompter. So that's a fun note if you want to hack into the mainframe. Change what's on the teleprompter. I'll say it. Okay. I'm very distracted by this lighting, and I only have 22 minutes. So because I'm trying to go fast. Okay, so the Uranus-Neptune sextile is, I think it's tomorrow. And one thing I want to talk about with Saturn in Aries and Uranus in Gemini, like, is, and so, okay, when I record my videos, I pause the recording to collect my thoughts. I used to edit the heck out of them, but now I don't. I just pause the recording for the most part, and I'm not doing that. So the Saturn-Uranus sextile is something that's going on. There will be 3 exact aspects, and it's going on throughout the year. And something, excuse me, that happens, something that I think of for Saturn-Uranus is like, when you're something that makes a Saturn-Uranus contact paradoxical is when it's a sextile, so constructive. When you're supposed to do the thing that you're not supposed to do. Or maybe you're not supposed to do that. So Saturn in Aries can feel very isolating. Like Saturn always has like a kind of it's lonely at the top feeling. Saturn in Aries, I think that could be like turned so high. It can be turned up very loud. So Saturn in Aries as like the lonely leader, or it's very lonely at the top, or it's lonely when you're in the position where you have to like make the decisions or set the boundaries. You don't even have to be, just sort of any position where you have to take the lead. And that's something I'm seeing with Saturn Uranus is like rebellion is sometimes required. And something I've also been noticing that I think I've talked about in my weeklies is everyone is talking about how you need to brainwash yourself into being successful. And this is like the beginning of Neptune in Aries. And I'm very curious about what this is going to be like at the end. And if you have ideas, like what is that taken all the way? On my Twitter, if you are on Twitter, I never tweet because it stopped being fun. Like everybody left Twitter for political reasons, I guess. And I guess, does that make me, because I'm there, does that make me, I don't know what that makes me, but I don't care about any of it. But Twitter used to be fun, and I'm still on there, and I like all my tweets, so I'm not leaving. And I tried to have fun on Threads, and it's not fun yet. So anyway, on Twitter, a long time ago, I tweeted on this like stray Twitter account, because I have like 20 Twitter accounts. Not that I like tweet with, but that I like look at different types of content with. And but I have my one just my public account. And so I'm like, I'm softly telling you, if you're on Twitter, follow my Twitter account. Not that I ever tweet. But I tweeted a really long time ago on the stray account, and sometime last year I retweeted it with my like main Hellington account, and it was Neptune in Aries, it was Neptune in Pisces, something about like media and film and like the experience of entertainment at the beginning of Neptune in Pisces versus at the end. And so just think about like where entertainment or media or film was, visual media, at the beginning, at the beginning of like, just like around 2012, 2013 versus now. It's crazy. Now, Amazon has a thing where you can just imagine your own cartoon, like type a few words, and then you have a cartoon, and then other people can make episodes of it just instantly. And that's where we're at. So where are we going to be at with the brainwashing yourself into being successful, Neptune and Aries stuff? And then also everybody is saying in like, there are like a couple thought leaders in this space that started to gain some traction, and now everybody's saying it, like you need to regulate your nervous system if you want to get attention or be successful. Your nervous system needs to know that it's okay. So these are like there are things that I'm connecting into the whole Neptune and Aries thing, like the romance of your triumphant success and what it takes when you have to like strap in for battle. I have so many devices. So with Neptune and Aries, in order to succeed, oh, Ashley, you left all social media and went to Substack because it's more creative. Yeah, totally. I agree, it's probably a funner place. Oh, Peach Doors, you've tried Blue Sky and it's fun. Okay, that's good to know. From the hip as an Aries rising. I feel like I've already started to do that. The Neptune and Aries stuff. Well, please let us know your findings as you discover them. Actually, Neptune in Aries is like the beginning of cults in its negative, in its positive. Is that Uranus in Gemini is going into the thought process. Even like, there's a book about like conscious, like positive cults. It's by Jamie Wheel. He wrote the book Stealing Fire with Stephen Kotler. Is that, am I pronouncing it right? Sometimes I feel like I get the letters slipped in that guy's name. But so the book Stealing Fire, which I highly recommend, by Jamie Wheel and Stephen Kotler. Jamie Wheel of that team wrote a book called Recapture the Rapture, and it's about like conscious cults. And the whole idea of cults is, I've been like mood boarding on a lot of cult stuff recently. The whole idea of cults is obviously very interesting for Pluto and Aquarius also. Like how is our togetherness going to be just like utterly ruptured and violated and then healed over this 20-year period until 2022. Thank you for pointing that out. I think with Neptune and Aries specifically, I see like, in regards to the cult situation, like the charismatic leader. So Neptune and Aries, sextile Pluto in Aquarius. Perfect cult recipe. Thank you for mentioning that. Oh, blue sky is definitely sparse and you like that because you can keep up. Okay, I appreciate that. Also, okay, so, and I'm going to be live for like 13 more minutes and then I'm going to go away. And I think I do like to do longer ones, but I'm trying to keep like myself limited. So anyway, so in order to succeed, there's a bit of like delusion, like triumphant delusion. So that's what we're headed into for the next like 13 years. So on the one hand, with the like, you gotta brainwash yourself into being successful, I think see me going fast with my deer in headlights thing, it gets kind of complicated. I have to become a better speaker. So on the one hand, I think like that's going to go stale really fast. You need to brainwash yourself into being successful. It's true. It's totally true. But that idea is going to go stale really fast. So I'm curious about how it's going to mutate and then how it's going to like take itself all the way. Because it's going to be both things. Like Neptune in Pisces, like the crystal new age consciousness, jewel cut home decor, like rose gold wire jewel cut platonic solids as home decor. That's what I think of partially in like a succulent garden with crystals. For Neptune and Pisces, like the sort of over commercialized version, it burnt out really fast, immediately, and it is also boring now, but it kept going. And I know that Neptune in Aries, and I'm just kind of rambling and going off book. I know that Neptune in Aries is more about like things flaring up really fast and going away. Like that's what Aries is about. So maybe I'm kind of wrong about that Pisces stuff. Or like not framing it correctly. It's like the rabbit hole that Neptune sends you down can get, it's like you go into it so thoroughly that you're already tired of it kind of immediately. I don't know how to describe that as like a separate thing from the sign of Aries, and maybe it isn't. Maybe I'll come back to that. So so they say spend time with the people that you want to be like, and that you need, like, if you want to be different, you need to be in the room with people that you like. Or like specifically people that you want to be like. whether you like them or not. And so now your room is the metaverse, which is social media. Which is why it's not insane. Remember when Facebook changed its name to Meta and everybody was like, that's silly. The metaverse is dead. This is why it's not insane that Facebook changed its name to Meta, because the metaverse is social media. So now you can be in the room with all the people. I'm just reading my notes. Sorry, it's unnatural. Now you can be in the room. You can like fill your personal room with exactly the people that you want to hang out with or be like. Like, instead of, you used to have to like do some social wrangling to hang out in, like the right rooms. To get into those rooms with like, I don't know, affluent people or successful people or the people you want to be like. And now you don't. You just fill, your feed with those exact people. That's something I've been thinking about a lot. And that's interesting for Neptune and Aries too, when there's like boundaries around the leadership. There are no boundaries. You can fill your personal room with charismatic leaders that you want to be like. And that's to an extent, because there's also the algorithm which will warp everything to be a reflection of your subconscious. So if that's taken all the way, then there's your identity as a person and the life that you live, and then there's flooding your eyeballs with what you want to be, and then finding ways to demonstrate that in images to flood other people's eyeballs with. Does that make sense? Is that anything? I'm going to see what people are saying. I need to find a way to put the chat on my iPad, and then I can have it closer and I don't have to lean in. Yeah, become your own algo, Ashley, exactly. We take a sitcom length, Harmony. Thank you. Yeah, it is. It's like a sitcom length. Okay, I'm just scanning the chat, but I have to like learn to let go of the chat a little bit if I'm doing a quick one, even though I don't want to. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just being really experimental with the live stuff. I envision myself in the room with the people that inspire me. From the Hip says, yes, Valentine, echo chamber, the potential pitfall of that though. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. However, what's my however? I'm not being contrarian. Like, yes, echo chamber, absolutely. I think I'm talking about it though specifically in terms of like, what if you want to change? Everybody wants to change their life to some extent. Everybody wants to like have all this like wild success. You can see it on social media, and that's a part of Neptune and Aries, is like the romance of your manifesting yourself as who you want to be. And you kind of need an echo chamber for that. I don't know if an echo chamber is necessarily bad, but yes, as with any, if you fill a room with people with intention and hang around them enough, yeah, it'll be an echo chamber. I agree with that. Always something to watch out for. Oh, thank you, Ashley. I will make note of this and try it next time, because I can't do two things at once. I need to fill my metaverse room with people who can do two things at once. So, if Aries is like consciousness, like not consciousness in general, but the differentiation of consciousness, like the what's the word I'm looking for? It's not what I wrote down. So Aries is Mars ruled. If Aries is like consciousness, like the extrusion of consciousness, like I am me now. I am not the all one thing like on the back of the Castile soap that you get at the health food store. I am not the all one. I am me. So it's a differentiation. It's like a cutting off and making individual. I don't know why I can't think of the term, like the most elegant term for this. It's not like, you know what I'm saying though. Aries is like the differentiation of consciousness as individuality, as the conscious experience of individuality. That's one way that Aries can like sort of begin the zodiac, even though the zodiac is a circle, and even though I prefer the Thema Mundi, which begins with the sign of Cancer, which is like biological life. But if we want to look at Aries as a beginning, that's what it is. Differentiation of consciousness as the experience of individuality. That's how Aries is Mars ruled. And we have Neptune there now, which tends to disintegrate differentiation. So we have things like agents, like AI agents. You're going to have an army of agents. That's just how it's going to be, one way or another. Whether it's all these operators doing like tasks for you across various apps, whether you have an army of AI avatars who are all you, or who are all different, or who are all monsters, something's going to be up with like differentiation of consciousness in the form of the experience of individuality. So Aries is like, I am a different thing than all of reality. I think it's really cheesy when I'm just reading my notes. There is this type of exercise I really like to do, which you probably heard me talk about in the past. Maybe I've mentioned like the way I like to work out. Anyway, she does these amazing like after workout talks. They're always amazing. Even when I can tell that she's reading notes, they're still amazing. Like, I love her. I love everything she has to say. She's such a nerd. She knows so much. But I can tell when she's reading her notes, and it kind of takes me out of it. So I apologize if I'm taking you out of it. I'm going to be live for 3 more minutes. 3 to 5, maybe 8. I try to cut it super short, but I want to give like, I think I'll do a part 2 because I think I got through like 1/8 of what I wanted to say. So, okay. The fact that you feel separate from all of reality is already an illusion. That's Neptune in Aries. Sometimes, so something that Neptune does is blur the line between what is real and what is not real. And that's also something that magic, the experience of magic, tends to do. So even without Neptune in Aries, the experience, the perception that you are separate from reality is an illusion. And what else? What else could I add in like 2 minutes? Okay, I guess the other thing I'll add is that like on top of this, all the like Neptune and Aries stuff I just discussed, we have an application layer on top of it. So you now have an application layer on top of your identity. Your identity is a wallet. I keep saying that. From a security standpoint too, I guess, okay, so I'm gonna mark this like right here. I'm just marking my notes, and then maybe I'll do another live and come back to it. I'm trying to keep it short. If I don't keep it short, I'll be on here for 3 hours, which is always fun, but like, I need to have the experience. If I force myself to have the experience of cutting it short, I think I will not be so prone to making them so long. Okay, so to wrap it up. Oh, I was going to say from a security standpoint. So all of the, like, your identity is a wallet. Everything is going to be like piled into one place. Like everything you do on the internet, you're going to have to sign in and be able to like prove that you're like things for your own safety that are like framed as for your own safety that you're going to need to prove is that like you're not a child. YouTube started doing that, and you're going to need to prove that you're a real human, since as you can see you've been conditioned for many, many years to be like, I am not a robot, whether that's intentional or not. I'm sure it's like a blend of the two, but from a security standpoint, if you're going to put every single thing into your wallet, all your certifications, all your internet metaverse, browsing history, purchase history, bank stuff, everything is going to go into one place. Like that's eventually where things are heading. And that place is going to be, there's so many like when the T app thing came out, okay, 3 more minutes, and then I'm going to stop yapping, and I'm going to turn it off. So then the T app came out, and a lot of blockchain people were like, blockchain could solve this problem. So there is like a security layer on blockchain and like your identity being a wallet. But I think something that's happening with blockchain it's going to inure you into being okay with putting all of your data in this one centralized place. And then like blockchain is a layer that's like security. And so now I'm kind of like combining all the outer planets. I called this a Saturn Neptune chat. I talked mostly about Neptune and Uranus and a little bit about Pluto. I didn't really talk, well, I did talk about Saturn actually. So I should call this an outer planets chat. Anyway, so you're going to be like slowly warmed up to the fact that like all of your data, every single detail of your life, which is lived online, your health wearables, everything is like put into this one place, which is your wallet, which is your identity. And then like that's wrapped in blockchain, ostensibly to keep it safe. But one thing about like the decentralized ledger is like, yeah, it'll be safe. It won't be lost. The distributed ledger. It won't be lost. It's on an indestructible ledger. So it's like permanent. You can't erase anything you do. That's one thing. I know that every tech talk I get into just goes straight to blockchain. But also, I see lots of stories in my nerd news about like blockchain stuff being breached. So it's not like ironclad. It can be hacked. So that's a thought I'll leave you with for now. And I will go live soon. Again, thank you for being here. And remember your Wi-Fi is a camera that can see through walls.